Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Trinity. My name is Ratan. Guys, we're discussing Spring Boot videos, right? Yeah, Spring Boot videos. Regarding the Spring Boot, last class we done how to create the project using STSID, right? Yeah. Guys, today class we will discuss about folder structure about the Spring Boot, guys. Guys, folder structure is very important. You should know what folder is what purpose, right? Because the Spring Boot project contains one folder, multiple folders. Tell me, Spring Boot project contains one folder, multiple folders, definitely multiple folders. Spring Boot, okay, folder structure. You should know the folder structure, right? Exactly. Guys, to get the folder structure, can you please create the project first? Create the project. Spring Tools with ID. Guys, when you start the ID, it is asking workspace. Go for the any workspace, no problem. Guys, workspace means this is a location where your projects will be stored, right? Yeah, guys, please check the workspace always. In workspace, how many projects you created, what are the folders are generated. Can please check the workspace once, everyone. Okay, good, guys. So it is loading the STS ID. So we are selecting the Maven project, guys. I'm trying to create. Yesterday I told you last class how many types of projects here. The two types, right? Maven project and tell me, one is the Maven project. Second one is what? I think Gradle project, right? Yeah, Maven project means which is XML configuration, which is having the POM.xml file, POM.xml file, right? Second one is the Gradle configuration, which is like JSON configuration. We have the build.gradle file, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is STS ID. When you open the ID, guys, go for the file menu, click on the new. I want to create the Spring Starter project. I think last class also we discussed this point, right? Spring Starter project, guys. New or Spring Starter project. If you go for the starter project, give the project name. This is like YouTube video, right? So YouTube, yesterday class we created YouTube example, right? YouTube new example, something like this. I create the project. I told you clearly yesterday, this is the Maven project or Gradle project. So Maven project means XML configuration, which is having the POM.xml file, right? Packaging, how many types are there? Yes, please respond. Packaging, how many things? Two things. One is a jar and what a WAR file, right? I'm selecting the jar file. The Java version is select the 17th version. Spring Boot supports how many languages? Three languages. Java, Kotlin, Groovy. I selected Java, right? No problem. Guys, this is the group ID. Group ID is nothing but package name. Artifact ID is nothing but project name. Version means jar dependency version, right? This is the package. Okay, guys, this project name here, artifact ID, both can be same, no problem. Here the group ID, here package name, both can be same, no problem. Got the point, right? Yeah, guys, click on the next button. Once if we click on the next button, it's asking like Spring Boot version. Guys, can you please select the Spring Boot version, any version, no problem, 3.1.4. And next one is you need to select the dependencies. If you go for the dependencies here, tell me, guys, I required the web dependency. Search the web dependency, Spring web dependency required. Next one is HU database. I want HU database required. For example, if you want dev tools, click on what? Dev tools, Spring Boot dev tools coming. And see, guys, these are the recently I'm using frequently, right? Frequently used dependencies. Spring data JP required, JP required, like that, guys. Okay, so as of now I added like now Spring web, H2 database, Lombok, so Spring Boot dev tools, whatever it may be, right? Yeah, guys, click on what? Finish. Once if we click on the finish, the project is generated in the project explorer. Guys, can you see this one? Guys, can you please enable the progress bar? Windows show view. Here you can see the progress. Otherwise others, click on others. Here you can type the progress bar. Here the progress bar is coming. Guys, progress bar if you show here, generally the Maven dependencies we are adding, right? That time when the project is loading, you'll get the clarity that how much progress is going on, right? Yes, sir, no, you'll get the clarity that how much progress is going on, right? Yeah, that's the reason. Try to enable the progress bar. Yes, 70% is project is loaded, 79, 100% is done, right? Yeah, guys, the project is downloading the Java docs. Okay, fine. Loading the project. Guys, check this code, guys. Here, YouTube new example one. Guys, everything is done. Guys, YouTube new example one. Guys, these all are the folders about the Spring Boot, guys. You should have the clarity about these all the folders first. right? Good. Okay, the first folder is what ma? src main java. src slash main slash what ma? Java. Okay, there is a first folder src main java, right? Because src slash main slash tell me again, src slash main slash what? Java. Guys, for this one, whatever the Java resources are there, as src main Java, whatever the Java resources, you should make the Java resources here. Okay, see com.boot.database. This is like, what a Spring Boot new example application, right? Here we should have the main method. Okay, this is the main method, right? So clear? So src main Java contains Java resources. Whatever the Java resources we have, make the Java resources inside src main and what Java, right? Exactly. So create the Java resources here. Java resources here, right? So what Java resources are? Nothing but controllers, nothing but service layers, nothing but repository layer, repository, repository information, otherwise entity classes, otherwise exception classes, exception classes, otherwise model classes, otherwise AOP classes, like whatever it may be, guys. These all are Java resources. I think you got the clarity, right? Controller class, service classes, repository classes. Tell me, guys. Repository classes, entity classes, entity classes, and exception classes. Because our project, you have your own exceptions, right? We create your own exceptions. Otherwise, model classes. These are all the things, guys. These are all the things you should be create inside which folder? src main Java. You got the point, right? Yeah. Sir, can please create one sub packages here. Guys, see here, this is a database, this is a main package. Guys, main package here, we can take the, what we can say, I want the class, but the sub package name com.boot.database dot, what the class, a controller package, guys. This is like, test controller. Guys, I've taken the package. See, guys, up to this package name is fixed. You don't change this package name because Spring Boot will do the component scanning up to from this package onwards. Up to this package and its sub packages component scanning is done automatically. Component scanning means what? Looking for the annotations. See, for example, com.boot.database is there. You remove the database, you write a com.boot.controller, your project will not work. Your project will not work. So the important point is what the package name initially we have com.boot.database. Remaining all packages should be sub packages to this main package. Sub package to what? This main package, right? Yeah, the controller, test controller. Guys, click on the finish. Click on the finish, right? Exactly. Guys, once if we click on the finish, then you'll get this one. See this code, guys. com.boot.database. Second one is what? com.boot.database. Controller, right? This is a test controller. Sir, can please let me create the repository class. src right click new. I want to take the class. Assume like service class here. Tell me, guys. com.boot.database. Service layer, right? This is called what service? Test service class. See, guys. com.boot.database.service class. Click on the finish. Sometimes in my STS ID is coming like sub like this, no, but just you can refresh this, refresh the project once you're getting the properly, but in your system you may not get this issue, right? Yeah, this is a boot database, this is a controller, this is like service layer. If you want entity package, like right click new, I want take the class, give the package now like com.boot.database. Tell me, guys, what the class name here? Entity package, right? Entity package emp entity, right? Yes, yes or no? Otherwise book entity, book class you can take. Guys, click on the finish. Yeah, this is a entity class, right? Exactly. Guys, click on the refresh. See the code here. Yeah. Okay, this is a main file. This is a controller class. This is entity class. This is a service class, right? Yeah. So whatever the resources you created, Java resources, all the Java resources should be src main Java. It's clear? When you see src main Java, you may think that, okay, I have to create the Java resources here, right? Exactly. Good. Because next one is what? src main resources. Because src main resources, so here we have the resources, guys. Static folder is there, template folder is there, application.property file is there. Then the second folder is what? src slash main slash src main resources, guys, which contains like mostly configuration, guys, configurations. which contains again src main resources, static folder is there, template folder is there, right? Exactly. Because src main resources slash template folder, because template folder here we can create, tell me guys what we can create here. We can create the html files, right? As you can create what html files. Second one is what src main resources, and which contains a static folder. The static folder here we have the css files, image files, like this guys. CSS files, image files will be in the static folder. Next one, if we have the application.property file. Application.properties file, we will make the configurations, right? Like port number, database configurations. Guys, here we will write what? Here we will take the configurations. Here we will take what? We will take the configuration, right? Configuration means what? Port names, database info, info, security info, like that, logging info, like that guys. We have the all the properties should be in the application.property file, right? Exactly. Okay, sir, clear? The first file is what? src main java. Create the java resources here. Controller class, service class, repository class, entity class, exception class, like this. Second one is what? src main resources, configurations. Template folder we have. Template folder contains HTML files. A static folder contains here CSS files and image files. Application.property file contains the port numbers, database information, security information, logging information. Is all the information, right? Exactly. Because like that, if someone is asking some folder, immediately you should respond, right? Yes or no? Immediately should respond, right? Yeah, that's second folder, guys. If you go for third folder here, src test.java. Because these days, testing is mandatory for the testing, in the sense unit testing. Unit testing mandatory for your code, guys. Developer, you should do the unit testing first. That's what, guys. That's what, every project by default they're giving the test folder, right? This is a test folder, guys. Why by default they're giving? They are saying that test is mandatory for the unit test case is mandatory for the application, right? Yes or no? That's what this folder is coming, but you never use this folder, it seems. If you are not using this folder, then why this folder here? Every folder you should use them. You got the point, right? So src test.java, they given the folder. They given the folder means, so for these applications these days, unit test cases are mandatory. That's what src test slash, tell me guys, src test java. For what reason here? To write the, tell me, to write the to write the unit test cases, right? Unit test cases. Example like JUnit test case. Tell me, JUnit test case, Mockito test case, Mockito test cases, and Hamcrest test cases, otherwise Spring test cases. You write the test cases, guys. Unit testing. These are the unit testing tools actually. That's what they get. These are the main three folders, guys. src main java to write the java resources. I clearly showing the folder structure for you. This is a folder structure you should see. Your project looks like this. Boot, controller, entity, service, repository, model, exceptions, AOP. Like that we have the multiple things here. Like that you will get the data. First of all, project structure is important. Writing the code is okay, man. Writing the code, even Google will give the code, right? Structure is important, no? Yeah. This is src test.java, guys. com.boot.database. Very clear now? Yeah. Guys, next one is that is the test file. Next one is JRE system library. Guys, JRE system library means Java runtime JRE system library. Nothing but Java version, guys. We are representing the Java version. So I think we have the Java version is the 17th version, right? Exactly, no problem. Okay, we know that. Maven dependency. Coming to the Maven dependency, guys. If you take fifth one, Maven dependency, right? Whatever the dependencies you selected while creation of project, all the jar files are comes to Maven dependency. Guys, Maven dependency. All the jar files displayed here, right? All the jar files display. Yeah, all the jar files display here, guys. See, if you want just I selected multiple, I think, dependencies, right? Click on this one. These all are the jars. Spring Boot starter web, logging. Guys, I told you, right? Spring Boot starter. What the advantage of Spring Boot starter? The first video. The Spring Boot starter dependency will aggregate. Tell me guys, starter dependency will aggregate what? Starter dependency will aggregate the multiple dependencies into what? A single dependency, right? Yeah, that's what. If we take one starter dependency, it pulls the multiple jars. These all are the jars are pulled. Sir, these all the jars are pulled. Last class one guys asked the question. Sir, here Spring test means test is pulled, Mockito pulled, ham crust is pulled, Spring test is pulled. But in my this is JUnit is pulled, Mockito pulled. Yes or no? JUnit, Mockito. Here Spring test is pulled and ham crust also pulled, right? This is ham crust. Can you see it, right? This is JUnit pulled, Mockito pulled, Spring test is pulled, ham crust is pulled. Sir, but in my project I use only JUnit test cases. Why the remaining jars? See guys, in the Spring Boot we have the Spring Boot scoping concept. What the concept name? Scope. Spring Boot scoping concept. The Spring Boot scope concept, what code you are using. For example, you are writing JUnit test cases. It will take only JUnit jars. It will ignore the remaining all jars. It will ignore all the remaining jars. If you using the Mockito test cases, you got my intention, right? Spring test is pulling one jar of multiple jars. Spring Boot starter test dependency. Spring Boot starter test dependency is pulling one jar of multiple jars. Multiple jars. What are multiple jars? JUnit, ham crust, Mockito and Spring test. But in my application I use only JUnit test cases. Then remaining 3 jars, why? Those 3 jars are automatically ignored by the Spring Boot. That is called Spring scoping concept. Got the point, right? Yeah, fine guys. Okay, this is like Maven dependencies. Good. Guys, now next one is important for this target folder. If you go for the target folder guys, once the project build is done, all the jar files, var files are displayed in the target folder. As of now, there is no jar files and var files because we are not doing the build, right? Because target folder is important for us, because maybe you are not using target folder, but target is important because once the build is completed, all the class files, once the, tell me guys, project build completed, the classes and jar files, tell me guys, jar files, var files, all comes to this target folder. Because next video I'll make the jar file guys, I'll run the jar file that is present in the target folder so that you'll get the clarity. Are you clear now? There's a target folder guys. Once the project build completed, all the target files, class files, jar files, var files, these all the files that comes to target folder, right? Exactly. Guys, one more last point important for us, pom.xml file, 7th one. If you go for the pom.xml file, what is the pom full form? Tell me. POM full form is like, you know, project, tell me guys, project object model, POM full form. Guys, POM contains the dependencies information guys. POM contains the project metadata guys. Project object model, which contains the contains the project metadata. Nothing but metadata is nothing but project information, right? Guys, pom.xml file contains project metadata, nothing but project information, nothing but project version, project dependency, project Java versions, project Tomcat versions, like that. I think we got the clarity, right? Pom.xml, POM is nothing but what? Project object model, right? Which contains the project metadata guys, which contains the project metadata. So if you want, just let me open this. This is the pom.xml file, right? Which contains the root tag is a project, model version, parent, group ID, artifact ID. I think while creation of project, you given this data, right? Your project group ID, your project artifact ID version, and the Java version, and the dependencies tag. This is the dependencies. The dependencies contains first dependency, second dependency, third dependency, fourth dependency. In future, if you want to add one more dependency, come here, just you can copy paste the dependency here. No sir, I don't want this HU database dependency, just you can remove the dependency, whatever it may be, right? Because you got the pointer? Yes. I think pom.xml file nothing but project object model, which contains a project information, metadata information, right? Metadata means what? Project means data. Data about the data is called what? Metadata, right? Simply can say project information, guys. The project information is there in the format XML file, right? Exactly. Guys, we got the 9 folders, like last folder, 10th folder. Guys, first one is what? SRC main Java. Create the Java resources here. Controller classes, service classes, repository classes, entity classes, exception model, whatever it may be. Second is SRC main resources, which contains a configuration. Template folder, we can create the HTML files here. Static folder, here you have to create the CSS and image files. Application.property file contains here we will create the configuration like port number, database info, security log, like this. SRC tester.java to write the unit test cases. So JRE session library to write the Java version like 17th version. Maven dependency, all the jars are displayed here. Target, once the project build completed, all the classes, jar files, var files. Jar files means this is not dependency jar files, guys. Maven dependency contains dependency jar files. But target folder contains jar var means dependency jar files are our project jar. Because once your project is completed, you will get the project jar. That jar contains your project. That var file contains your project. Okay, these are the dependencies jar files are project jar file. Okay, this is a project jar file and project var file. Okay, sorry, clear now? Project jar and project var file, right? Exactly. Okay, format XML file which contains versions, dependencies, Java versions, which project info, right? Which contains the project information, project info, dependency info, Java version, right? Yeah. Guys, last folder, 10th folder, guys. If you take the 10th folder, SRC folder is there now here, SRC. Guys, here the two things we have. Actually, in a MVC model view controller, the view layer can be two ways we can write. Guys, view layer can be two ways you can write. One is the JSP view layer. Now JSP is completely like outdated concept. These days we are using TimeLeaf view layer, guys. But I'll take the two projects, one project on the JSP view, one project on the TimeLeaf view. JSP view layer, guys. JSP view layer is the TimeLeaf view layer is there. If your project using the JSP view layer, guys, if your project using what? JSP view layer, so you should create the views means where you should create the views means go for SRC main, not main, SRC. In SRC you please create the web app folder, guys. Because don't go for this main and test, these are different things actually. So here you can please create the right click new one folder. What is the folder, sir? Web app folder. Guys, what the folder name? Web app folder. SRC web app. In web app folder, can you please create the one more folder, web.inf folder, but it should be capital letter, capital web, capital INF. Okay, these folders are not coming in the STS, we should create, right? SRC web app, web.inf. Inside this web.inf, this is web.inf. Under this web.inf, guys, you can create one more folder. This is like views folder. Otherwise you can write the my views folder. Guys, up to this SRC web app, web.inf is mandatory names. SRC is there now, you should create the web app folder. Under the web app folder, web.inf folder is mandatory. Under the web.inf folder, you can create your own views folder name. This is option, whatever the name you want, you can take that name, my views. But this name is fixed, any name you can use. Guys, this name is fixed, any name you can use. This is any name, right? Yeah, here you should create the JSP files, guys. Go for others. In others, you go for the JSP, right? Select the JSP. This is like first.jsp, something like that. Click on the finish. Guys, here now you will get the JSP file, first.jsp. So your project is using the JSP view layer. You have to make the SRC folder already available. Under that you should create a web app. Under that you should create what? web-inf. This is a capital letter should be /src web app web-inf. The folder is what? Guys, up to web-inf is fixed. Under this one you can create what? The views folder is like my views. You should have the clarity, guys. Sorry, clear? This is like JSP view part, guys. SRC, web app, web-inf, my views. Are you clear now? Yeah. Here under the my views, I created the file is like what? First.jsp, right? Exactly. But only this one is up, whatever the name you want, you can use that name. But up to this one is a fixed. Okay, sir. What about theme leaf here? If you go for the theme leaf, guys, theme leaf nothing but like HTML templates, guys. HTML templates directly we can create in the template folder. Here you can create directly. We don't have any separate folder for this. SRC main resources template folder is there na. So your project using your theme leaf template engine, theme leaf view. We can create HTML files under the template folder. HTML files under the under the templates folder. I think now you got the clarity, right? These are the 10 folders you should have the clarity, guys. If anyone is asked, firstly you should have the clarity so that you can have some clarity to develop the application, right? You'll get some confidence here. That's it. Tell me, guys, for the first folder, tell me. Let me go for without seeing the screen. Let me try to write this one. All of you please respond. First one is what? SRC SRC slash main slash, tell me SRC main slash what? Java. Very good. Next one, SRC slash main slash, I think resources, where the HTML files, a static file, template folder, static folder, application.property file is there. Third one is what? SRC slash, I think test slash Java, right? Exactly. Good. Fourth one, I think fourth one is a Java version, maybe Java version. Fifth one is the Maven dependency. What the Maven dependencies? All the dependencies jar files are displayed here, right? Guess what the jar files you selected now? All the Maven dependencies jar files are displayed here. Fifth one. What is sixth one? Tell me. Maven dependencies. SRC main Java, SRC main resources, SRC test.java, Java versions, Maven dependency. Sixth one is what one? Sixth one. Target folder. Okay, fine. Because target folder means once your project build success, project classes, project jar file, project var file, project var not dependency jar. Okay, this is a project jar, not dependency jar, right? Exactly. Okay, seventh one. What happened here? You got only 6. SRC main Java resources, Java test, Java version, Maven dependencies, and the target you got. Next one, I think we got the POMED XML file. POMED XML file means what? Project object model, right? Project object model contains what? Did you tell me? Tell me here. Project object model contains project information, right? Project information means project version, dependencies, all the information is then the project object model. This is the file, right? Exactly. Guys, eighth one. What is the eighth one? Tell me. What is the eighth one? What's the eighth one? Tell me, guys. SRC, right? SRC, that is like view layer, guys. View layer means we can write the data, right? This is a view layer data. Why here? You got only 8, previously you got the 10. One is SRC main Java, SRC main resources, SRC test.java, JRE library file, Maven dependency up to target. Oh, very good. After 6 directly writing 8, 9. Huh? Oh my god. Why 9 coming here? 6, 7. Tell me, guys, this is 8. 8 folders only we got. Sorry. In the class means maybe you'll respond immediately, but recorded session, right? No problem. But you'll understand, right? It's not a problem. Guys, 8 folders coming properly or not? Yeah, 8 folders only. I think you can see this project folder structure clearly, right? Yes. Okay, sorry, clear now? Yeah. Okay, this help, these all are not required. No worries about this. Okay, only the things which we use frequently, that I'm explained clearly, right? Enough. Guys, thank you guys. Like the video, comment the video, and subscribe to our channel to get the more videos. Guys, please write the notes and please follow the channel and please inform to your friends about this video. So, thank you guys. Bye.